consider looking into some stocks. Stock expert Jason Brown is here to tell us all about the stocks that we should keep on our radar this year. Isn't that right, Jason?
Absolutely. We got to
So tell us. I mean, AI stocks. We know that President Trump just one of his executive orders was to invest so much into AI and create this company. Tell us about some stocks, some AI stocks.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm excited to be back because last time I was here, one of the things we discussed was for people not to panic and not worry when the market sold off. And just as of today, we just hit a new intraday high on the S&P
Nice.
500. So anybody that panicked because the market was down, we're back up. Our wealth is back to whatever the normal level it was before all the sell-off chaos ensued. And so now we're back with a new announcement with Stargate, which is President Trump's initiative to invest in AI in the U.S. and build an infrastructure out here. And he pretty much said that the initial investment from Softbank is going to be $100 billion with plans to scale to $500 billion within the next 4 years. That is a lot of billions with a B that is pouring into the U.S. economy. And so when you take that and think about some individual stocks, the partnership was announced with Microsoft, OpenAI, which is ChatGPT software, as well as Oracle. So those are three big companies that are coming together to help bring this infrastructure to the U.S.
Now, Jason, when we first had you on, right when the election was happening, we talked about how stocks were up at that time as a response to the election. Now, you did say that that's pretty typical, but with President Trump being in office now officially, how do you think that the stocks are going to respond to that?
If you look at how they're responding today, they're moving in the right direction. And not just because President Trump is in there, but you have a president that is pro-business. If you looked at his inauguration, you had the CEO of Microsoft there, the CEO of Google, Apple. You had Tim Cook. I mean, you name it, they were there. The CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk. And so when you take a look at that snapshot and that picture, it's really letting you know that they mean business, and he wants those guys to have a seat at the table to advise him on economic matters, because I believe President Trump cares about the stock market being a part of his report card, not his whole report card.
So when it comes to things that we should keep our eye on for 2025, AI is definitely at the top of that list. Any AI companies, what else should we be on the lookout for?
So individual stock wise, I think a few things we should think about. Oracle, number one, is going to be the company that is partnered with the government as far as bringing the software. You got Microsoft, which is a partner who's going to be primarily responsible for bringing the hardware as well as their cloud expertise to the table. So I think those are two companies you got to take a look at. Ticker symbol ORCL for Oracle, MSFT from Microsoft. And then when you start to look at all the infrastructure that's going to be needed, you have to think about the companies that are going to bring the chips. Now, everybody's familiar with Nvidia, but a lot of people don't have on their radar a company called Broadcom, which is ticker symbol AVGO, which makes the semiconductors for data centers, which is very important because that's what this whole AI buzz is about, building data centers where we control the data and information here in the US. And then last but not least, I would tell consumers or investors to keep an eye on ticker symbol PLTR, which is Planeteer. They have the contracts for bringing AI to the government. And we all know that a lot of the government agencies are kind of archaic as far as still using paper and outdated software. They're going to get some of those contracts, which you're seeing that stock pop today as well.
And Jason, we know with the stock market, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So we aren't going to see, or are we going to see overnight growth or growth within a week, 2 weeks? Is this something that we, want to hold on to, and that's when we'll see our return? Or do you think that this is going to be something where we'll see a return on our investment immediately?
I think there's two types of people. One that is a trader, which I'm a trader, and as well as I'm a long-term investor, and you got the long-term investors. So us traders who were long stock symbols like Planeteer or Broadcom, we saw an immediately boost in our wealth when this announcement was made, as well as the run-up that the stocks have been happening. So there is opportunity to profit in the short term. But if you're a long-term investor, instead of trying to pick the right horse, you might want to look, check with your financial advisor and say, what exposure do I have to the upside? Do I have Microsoft in my portfolio? Do I have any semiconductor stocks like a Broadcom, like an Nvidia in my portfolio, so that I can participate in the long run of this $100 to $500 billion that's about to be invested? And I think that's the beginning of the investment, not the end.
Jason, excellent advice. I know I'm taking some of that and taking it home when I go and invest in a couple of things. Jason, thanks so much for stopping by for us on this week, I guess. Yeah.
Agreed. Thanks for having me. A lot of good stuff going on in the market.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait to hear more about it.